Here we are in the merry month of June, and things are heating up quite nicely. Thank you very much. With that in mind, let's talk about heat stroke. Once again, here's Dr. Joel Saylor.
Well, we've got the hot days now, and everybody's spending more time outside, and we're doing stuff. And this is not for everybody, because the dogs that are constantly outside, they do pretty well with this, because you figure out ways to adapt. But always, even for the dogs that are always outside, you want to make sure there's adequate water and adequate shade. The ones that seem to get hit with the heat stroke the most are the ones that have been laying dormant during the winter months, and now they're out running around. And a lot of them are these couch potatoes, okay, maybe carrying a little extra weight. They're running around, and very quickly they can get into a dangerous situation. The other thing too is if you've got a dog that normally sits around, and say, like a lot of the hunting dogs, if they're sitting around not doing a whole lot, resting since the last season, and now they're starting to work a little bit to get ready for the next season, you start running them, they can get overheated very quickly too, because they love to run and they'll overdo it. So what heat stroke is basically when your body, elevate your body temperature higher than what is compatible with life, okay? And in dogs in general, taking a rectal temperature using a regular thermometer, what we consider heat stroke is anything that's over, say, 105, 106, okay? If you see that, your dog is in heat stroke, and you need to start cooling them down. Now, just because you cool them down, that's not the end of the story, because a lot of times if they reach that temperature, there is shock that occurs with that. So that means that blood is shunted away from important organs, liver, kidneys, those kind of things. And so when that shunting occurs, it's just like being in shock from a car accident, things like that. And what happens, you get damage to those organs. So it's very important when they are in heat stroke to get them cooled down, but also to get them vascular support. So a lot of times these dogs need to be, receive a catheter and some fluids to help offset that shock. Because if you don't, what will happen is 2 or 3 days later, then the patient, while they're feeling okay right at the moment, actually go into full-blown liver or kidney failure because you didn't address that shock. And it's always a lot more fun, I think, to deal with stuff ahead of time, okay, than dealing with kidneys later on, because that's kind of like getting to the bus stop after the bus has left. I'd rather be at that bus stop and when it arrives, so I know that we're all set. So if you be caught, the best way to deal with heat stroke is to avoid it completely. So if you got a couch potato dog, don't go out and throw frisbee with them for an hour, because it's fun, all right, because you may be dealing with that. So avoid those situations, and then if you do encounter a heat stroke, seek care immediately.
And we'll be back right after this.